So Telstra Regatta time is 9:26 at the moment, 4 minutes to the start of the first bracket of boats to do the time trial. It'll be 30 second apart, with the men's quad scull being the first group. The order is South Australia, Queensland, Victoria, Western Australia, the ACT, Queensland, Victoria, South Island, New Zealand, the ACT, Tasmania, and North Island, New Zealand. That's the order for the first time trial of men's quadruple scull. Now, all this was for race time, so it should all be on the web now, on the manager site for the regatta. So this is my welcome. It's Phil Manglestoff here, and welcome to the 2025 Oceania Under-22 Teams Rowing Championships here on the Alex Ramsey International Regatta Course at West Lakes. Have a good day. Two. Your name's McDougall.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Thank you.
I've got to make sure I say it.
Yeah. I respond to most things, Mangs. Mac. Oh, no, it's McDougall.
And you'll help out with some of this?
Yeah, I'll be here.
All we can really do is say who it is, and if you got the names of the crew, and I can take some ratings.
Oh no. Okay, I do have full crews there.
Okay.
We've got last names, at least. Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't talk about progressing.
Yep.
That's the only thing.
Yep.
My things here, mates.
Yeah.
That's why I can't have nice stuff.
Wind is going to be a problem.
That's all right. Chilly.
You might not have enough gear on.
Well, this is quite warm, which is positive. Yes, alright, so jacket's quite nice. Quite nice and sweaty. Have they started yet? Okay.
We're pretty close to us now.
Yeah. Let's see how Andrew's going. Oh, my microphone.
So I can't see that they've started.
It's okay. side so I can see.
Yesterday they ran them on the far side. I'm looking over there. I can't see anything happening over there. Are they likely to have started on this side?
No, actually, ask.
I'll go and have a look.
Now, what side they could be this side.
It's probably easier.
Yeah.
I might be able to see from here. Are they starting from lane 1?
Yes, they are, thanks.
2 and 3. So
Yeah, this side.
Phil? Wait. Yeah, they've started.
Yes, they've started.
Time at 9:30. I was looking for them on the eastern side where we used those lanes yesterday. Today they're actually starting from lanes 2 and 3. So the first boats are underway. I've lost the names. I'm sorry, but I got Hugo Worm in the South Australian crew. It was first away. Then Queensland number 2 with Fred Atkins, probably in the stroke seat on the original entry. So those boats are underway, 30 seconds apart. Time trial. We'll try and give you some information about those are the crews that we know here. We've got Catherine McDougall going to be helping with the commentary, and you'll find that Catherine knows a lot more than I do about some of the athletes.
Thank you, Mangs. Are we live? Perfect. Yes, no, thank you, Mangs. I like to think I do know a lot, and as I was telling the office, I'm happy to make it up and go with it. But I can see, I'm just having a look now on the water, and I can see 2 boats. So they really are 30 seconds apart, which is lovely to see. But I'm going to say the South Australia crew, stroked by Hugo Worm, just coming through the 750 mark now. And behind them would be Queensland 2, stroked by Fred Atkins. We've got the South Australia crew, which were off first. I'm going to say they're coming through the 500-metre mark, and Mangs is on the stopwatch right now. How fast do you reckon they're going? My eyes are good, but they're not that good to be able to tell.
Yeah, on stopwatch is not give me a good one. I reckon they're in the mid-30s.
We're going to say in the mid-30s. So coming to the last 500 metres, sitting at about mid-30, about 34 strokes per minute. The South Australia quad, with Queensland 2 behind them, and then following that is Victoria 2, stroked by Sam Chin. So we've got the first crew is just fast approaching that last 250 metres. Which would be the South Australia quad.
South Australia, of course, racing in their famous red, blue and gold colours. One of the wonderful things to me about this regatta is the states, all these crews will be racing in their traditional and famous colours. So the Queenslanders mainly a maroon uniform, followed by Victoria, who will be in the darkest of dark blues, usually with a big white V on their outfit.
And we have the first crew is just, I'm going to say, the very famous point of Leighton Hewitt's house, the the White House. They're just rowing past Leighton Hewitt's house. I don't think he's lived there for 15 years. But they're just coming through to the finish line, which will be the first crew to cross the line this morning on the Saturday of the 2025 Oceania Regatta. We have Queensland 2, stroked by Fred Atkins, just coming through the last 200 metres. And then we've got having a
Victoria 2 with the third boat in the time trial, and Western Australia number 1, the fourth boat. They'll be in their gold colours, no doubt with a swan somewhere in their outfit.
Queensland 2 just coming up to the last 10 strokes. Then they've finished for their time trial this morning. Victoria 2, they're coming through the last 250 metres. And you're right, I absolutely love this, Mangs. It's very easy to tell who is who when it comes to the states and their colours. I can see WA there just coming up to the last 250 with the yellow and black.
I got the Victorian crew rating at 33. I got this ancient watch working there. I think it's 33 for the Victorian crew at the moment.
And we've just got Victoria now crossing the finish line, our third crew, with the WA quad stroked by Fergus McCallum, just coming through that last 200 metres.
I can see the gold in their outfit, but they've also got the green and gold of the West Australian crew, and I've got them rating about 35, so a bit higher than the previous one.
We've got ACT.
Crossing a couple of lanes, that's not going to get them any quicker.
At least I've got the whole course.
Yeah, they got plenty of room, so shouldn't run into anyone. The ACT, they should be in blue and white and gold, blue, white and gold, I reckon.
It's testing my knowledge of every state's zooty and their colours at the moment.
Got them rating at about 34, the ACT men's quad scull.
Just a little bit of a crab there from the Queensland crew coming up to the last 250 metres. So I'm going to say this race between Queensland 1 and Victoria 1 coming into this last 250 metres, I think it's going to be a little bit of a battle there, which will be great to see since they did go off 30 seconds apart.
Always a challenge in a time trial. If you're actually catching the boat in front of you, it's good for morale, and I think that's helping this Victorian crew at the moment.
They are definitely winding. I'm going to say, sitting about 36. Queensland are still moving well together to hold them off, but
yep.
I think this is going to be
good call. 36 and a half for Victoria. So they're really motoring that Victorian crew to finish off their time trial.
Very easy to spot Victoria with the big V on the back, and then Queensland still in front. They've got about a boat length. It is bow to stern. Queensland have just crossed the finish line, followed by Victoria. And then looking up, we have the South Island, New Zealand. I do love that they aren't wearing shirts because they're probably a little bit more used to the cold than what we are. Rating about 37, the South Island right now. We've got about 10 strokes to go, sitting at rate 37. We may have miscounted, but, it sounded convincing. They've just crossed the finish line. Then looking up across the course, we've got the ACT, stroked by Jessie Rosson. A very yellow outfit and a yellow boat. Very easy to spot. Behind that, we have Tasmania. And then in B7 crew, going off at 9:35, is the North Island, New Zealand. 36, so ACT at 36. And yet again, they are not wearing long sleeves. All the Queenslanders were. ACT definitely used to the cold, unlike us. And we've got the final two crews. Tasmania sitting at rate 36, and the North Island, New Zealand, have just come past that 250 metre mark. And they would be sitting at 36. So both crews finishing off at rate 36 for the men's quad. The final two crews, Tasmania. Oh, it was Tasmania. Tasmania just about to cross the finish line. And then we have the North Island, New Zealand. I'm going to say they've just increased their rating right there. Wonderful. And that concludes the men's quad scull.
So it's the women's quad scull will be next, and the order there is North Island, New Zealand first, then New South Wales, then South Australia 1, Tasmania, Queensland, Victoria, South Australia 2, Western Australia, ACT, and South Island, New Zealand. So what wonderful entries for this under-22s Oceania Regatta. First time we've had this age group in the Oceania, Trans-Tasman, Australia and New Zealand states racing. So obviously the first time we've hosted this event in Adelaide. You beat Barrow this morning? Oh, what, you're not allowed out? You have to go too early?
No.
Okay.
Any excuse not to ride, it seems.
Did you see my dissertation about the regatta? Sent a message
Oh,
recently?
being jumping up, wouldn't it?
Probably.
Oh, because I found the volunteers thing.
Right.
Jumping up, which I didn't, I don't reckon jumping up this. So,
I sent a letter about having a regatta this year.
oh, yeah.
See if it falls on. So it's Tasmania, North Island from New Zealand that's leading this one. Tegan Negans is the stroke, the women's quad scull. And clearly I can see it followed by New South Wales in the light blue outfit they've got in the women's quad scull approaching us. So 35 strokes, the North Island New Zealand crew.
I'm going to say they're rowing very nicely. We've got good body swing. It has been a while since I have coached, but, people tell me it's like riding a bike. Like I said, that North Island has just lifted their rate. They've come up to the last 10 strokes, and they're definitely finishing off strong.
I've got the New South Wales crew rating 34, 35.
And they're very distinct light blue. And then I'm just having a look up here, Mangs. Coming up to the last 250 metres, we have quite a battle there between South Australia 1, stroked by Ella McKay, and Tasmania, stroked by May Wayne.
Well, South Australia started ahead of them, so the Tasmanians have obviously caught up to them, almost overtaking them. That'll be pretty exciting, I think, Catherine.
Just having a look here, New South Wales finishing off strong. This is stroked by Alice McReady.
Yeah, the South Australian blade work getting a bit untidy there. They're definitely making an effort and putting their rating up as I speak.
But yes, this Tasmanian crew, I think, I'm going to say they're just in front.
Yeah, well, South Australia 35. I reckon Tassie might be a bit higher.
It's going to be a very strong last 250, but I'm going to, Tasmania, I'm going to say at this angle, maybe about half a boat length in front.
Tassie about the same rating, 35.
So Tasmania has closed that 30-second gap.
So well done, those crews. With the time trial, we won't know what it means until we see all the times for the boat class. But those two may well be the two fastest boats in the field.
Tasmania just in front, their bow. South Australia, about half a boat length. And Tasmania crosses the line first, followed by South Australia. And then looking back over the field, we have the Queensland crew, stroked by Courtney Davis. And then behind that, we have the Victorian crew, stroked by Francesca Spano.
So the Queensland crew are rating 33 strokes to the minute. And I reckon the Victorian crew might be a little bit higher. We'll check it out. Victoria, very well drilled, lovely timing in that boat. It's 35 I got their rating at.
Queensland coming up to the last 100 and about 20 metres. So their final 15 strokes. And we are Queensland have just crossed the finish line.
Victoria have just got up to 36, so putting a little bit of effort there over the last few strokes. Going a little bit across their lane. That's what happens sometimes when you put that extra effort in. The steering may be overridden by the power. And then it's South Australia number 2. They're holding off the boat behind them a bit better than their number 1 boat did.
Having a look, we've got not Victoria, South Australia 2, followed by Western Australia, the ACT, and then the South Island. So the final 4 crews of the women's quad scull.
They were all underway. We can see them all. The women's quad scull. Now, if you've got a program of events, you'll notice the next event. If you can understand what's on the website, is actually going to be a race for the para men's and women's single scull. So here comes South Australia. This is a number 2 crew with Imogen Graham in the stroke seat.
And just behind them, we have Western Australia, stroked by Isabella Utley. Coming up to the home stretch.
South Australia finishing off quite well there.
I see we've got a different Zooty in there. So we've got a mixed crew, which is fantastic to see. As many people on the water as possible.
Now the New Zealand from South Island rating at 37 as they approach the finish. So certainly putting in a good effort there. The South Island New Zealand crew, stroked by Emma Spittle.
WA just crossing the finish line now.
Sorry, that was the West Australian crew, stroked by Isabella Utley.
But if you have a look out there, Mangs, final 250 metres, we have ACT and the South Island, and I think this is going to be a great last 250 metres. So ACT went off first, followed by South Island. So ACT stroked by Pip Gray, and South Island stroked by Emma Spittle. And this is the last 250 metres.
Yeah. The ACT crew are mainly in the yellow outfit, so they're being caught by the New.
I'm going to say New Zealand is just in front. And I'm going to say they're about a boat length now. So we've got but ACT have definitely, with a bit of a rate lift. They are moving, they are pressing. But South Island is out in front. They've had a cracker of a race. And South Island will cross the finish line first, and then ACT. Now that concludes the women's quad sculls for this morning. And as Mang said, we now move on to the para men's single scull, which is racing over
1,000 metres. So what's happened is to accommodate the wishes of the para rowers, the Victoria Victorian sculler.
I'm still having a few technical difficulties with the microphones.
So listed as so I'll let you. They're actually going to start them together as a race, the women's and the men's.
I believe. Okay, so
The Victoria's withdrawn.
So we've had a withdrawal from Victoria. So what I believe is happening, according to Manx, we have the para men's single scull and the para women's single scull starting together at the 1,000-meter mark.
The coaches requested this.
So the coaches have requested this. I think, makes it a lot more interesting when you're racing somebody else. It does make it a bit challenging racing against the clock.
Yesterday, only one of the para scullers did a time trial, so the others withdrew.
Gotcha.
So this time at least we've got two. We can show that to you. So yesterday.
We are having a few technical difficulties. Can you hear me, Christine? No. Oh, hang on. Oh. We're back. No? Yes?
Yeah, I think so. Try.
It feels almost like a bad joke. How many people does it take to get a microphone to work? So I've just been informed. It is South Australia. Mitch Bales is going off in the single. And I believe the para women's single scull has turned into a double scull. So it is Mitch in a single from South Australia and Willow in a double from Victoria.
With Oscar perhaps?
No, with somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So if that is, I'm hoping that information is correct. If not, please let us know so we can commentate this accurately. But that is, we have Mitch off in the single by himself from South Australia with a Victorian para double.
Mitch did the full 2,000 metres yesterday on his only para. And he was very brave. He looked brave.
That's good. Just having a look. This is nice. So we've got a little bit of a turnout this morning, even though, I do love weather chat. I think yesterday would have been, there weren't too many people standing in the rain, but it's wonderful to see friends.
Packed in the restaurant.
Oh, I've just been informed everyone was packed in the restaurant, and I would have done the exact same thing. But it's great to see that we have parents, friends, siblings, and supporters here to cheer on every state, as well as the North and South Island from New Zealand. Do we have a start, Mangs? No, not yet. Not yet. We will let everyone know when we have a start. But it's nice to see everyone's dry today. I'm hoping. We're hoping it stays this way, because I believe it was the most amount of rain in one day in South Australia in this year. Definitely this year. I think it could be in the last 100 years. For everyone that is not from South Australia, that is not the norm. We're still having a few technical difficulties regarding our second microphone. I'll pass this one over to Mangs, and then I'll pass mine to Mangs so I can find, hopefully Andrew can come and fix it for us.
Yeah, they have.
Have you broken that one too, mate?
The boats haven't started yet in the para skull and double scull. I thought Mitch Bales did a great job yesterday, talking to the umpires that were watching for safety and whatever, that he didn't seem to slacken his pace off for the whole 2,000 metres and almost held his 30-second break for nearly half the 2,000 metres. And for those of you, all you able-bodied rowers, here's a guy that's rowing just fixed seat with arms and body only. So pretty impressive job by Mitch Vales from South Australia in the para #1 category. So today he's taking on apparently a double scull with Willow Griffiths from Victoria and an unknown double scull partner. So we've just gone through 9:55, which was the original start time. I mentioned before the regatta time is visible at the top of the digital clock, the red clock at the top of the judges' tower on the finish line. That is Telstra regatta time. That clock donated by the Union of Old Oarsmen of South Australia to the tower. And Old Women of Turk Course too. Hey, here we go to our third microphone for the day. Is it a plug-in or what is it?
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah, well, it's
different, isn't
different. Yeah. So if
Hang on.
I'll try it. Yeah, it just doesn't have the clip. Oh, it's got the 3 prongs. It just won't. Doesn't have the... Let me keep trying.
It's back. We're back.
Of course it is.
I'll be back.
Thank you.
So we've taken the microphone apart, tried to put another one on, and now the old one's working. So this is, I'm sure we're on, was it that TV show where they hide cameras?
It's not even our first day. I think that's the most embarrassing part. You've been doing this for a long time, Mangs.
No, some would say too long. And by the way, we have got live stream video of what's happening today, racing. We couldn't do that yesterday. The weather was too inclement. But so live stream is happening. So those of you here, if you have family or friends back home or that want to know what's racing, they can see the results. I'm not sure how the results come up live from a normal regatta, but the racing is being filmed. What's happening live stream at the moment. That's correct, Andrew? Yep, we're filming. So you can notify anyone back home or that's not here that they can watch proceedings live on the World Wide Web.
I believe it's on YouTube.
So through the YouTube channels, yeah. You all know that. Yep.
Am I still working? Oh, I'm still working. Wonderful.
You're wireless.
Oh, I am wireless. Modern technology. Do we have a start? We have a start. Andrew. Let's not do that one again. I think we will make this work. Cool. But we do have a start. I'm having a look. We have a start.
Yeah, both boats underway.
Both boats are underway. I'm going to say I actually have the president of the jury here. Do you know who is in what lane? Wonderful.
The single's closest to us.
Yep.
The single's in 2 and the double's in 4, I reckon.
Correct.
Well,
Yeah, you're using if the growing gap.
I can see red South Australia colours in
Yeah.
lane 2.
And there remains 2
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Podge.
and we have safety boat following.
We have a safety boat following, which is fantastic. Thank you to our wonderful bros, boat race officials. It took me an alarming amount of time to realise that's what it stood for. But we do have, I'm going to say we're at the 500 metre mark. So we're about halfway through this 1,000 metre race in the para men's single scull and para women's double. I did know that. I knew that. That also took. But we've come through the 500 metre mark. I'm going to say the double in lane 4 is out in front. So the Victorian double, women's double, only just, and the South Australian single in lane 1.
What's the flight number? SQ278. I caught it an awful lot. And the flight that comes home 11:30 p.m. out of Cheng, SQ279.
So the two boats still pretty close together. The young Mitch Bale's doing a good job of keeping in touch with that double scull.
They've just come through the last 250 metres. And I'm going to, can I make a joke? I'm going to say maybe the double is just in front. What rates have we got here, Manx?
I got Mitch Bale's at 35, which is, he could probably build up to a finish here. The double is much more sedate in their rating. So I got the double rating about 27, 28 strokes a minute. So Mitch Bale's having a real good go at the single scull, the para single scull. So these two boats started level. So this is a genuine regatta rowing race. And deserves a bit of recognition, I think, for the all the para scullers out there. So well done, you guys and girls. Hurtling down towards the finish line here. Mitch putting in a bit bigger effort again.
That's a wonderful effort. A boat length. So Mitch it was sent.
So about a boat length win to the double scull, but brave effort by all those wonderful para athletes.
It's back. I'm back. Yes, I'm back. We're all. These microphones may be the death of us. But next up, we do have the men's coxless 4. Starting with South Australia 2, Victoria, South Island, New Zealand, New South Wales, Queensland, Western Australia. Turning the page, ACT, South Australia 1, and then the North Island, New Zealand. I do not believe we quite have a start just yet.
It's 10:05.
Is this time correct? Timing?
So they'll start at 10:30 or?
25-minute break?
Could be. We need to clear the paras out of the way and resume. So whatever time is, that's what we'll
10:30. Yeah.
Okay,
so that we break it.
yeah, so next race due to start at 10:30, the next bracket. So time for a coffee or whatever floats your boat.
So yes, with this 25-minute break now, highly recommend a coffee, an extra jumper. But we do have a little bit of time before we have the men's coxless 4 underway, with the first crew starting at 10:30.
I've put my boom on. It's getting too cold for me. So
We'll be back, everyone. Enjoy the coffee break. Welcome back, everyone. We have the men's coxless 4. We do have a start. I did run up the stairs. We have, starting off first, we have South Australia 2, stroked by George Griffith, followed by Victoria, South Island, New Zealand, New South Wales, Queensland, Western Australia, ACT, South Australia 1, and then the North Island, New Zealand. From what I can see, we're coming through the 1,000-metre mark, so we would have started on time. And I can see the red of South Australia coming through the 1,000, and then Victoria in the dark blue to their left. So South Australia sitting in lane 4 and Victoria sitting in lane 5. I've completely made that up. I think it's lane 3 and 4 now that I'm looking properly. I looked up because someone goes, "Have we started racing yet?" And I was like, and I looked up and was like, "Yes, we have."
That's what we agreed.
Yes, Victoria is, I'm going to say, a little bit closer to South Australia than the 30 seconds that they would have been given, which is fantastic to see. Means they're having a great race. We have South Australia rating 35. They've come through the last 500 metres. With Victoria, Victoria 1 point higher, rating at 36. So they're definitely starting that wind a little bit earlier. But we have South Australia coming up to the last 250 metres. And yes, I'm having a look. I'm going to say Victoria has closed up, excuse me, a 30-second gap comfortably.
And if you compare the gaps back to the
Yeah.
which is,
South Island, yeah. Well, yes, Victoria should be sitting a lot closer to the centre of the two of them, but they have definitely closed the gap on that South Australia 2-4. But we have South Australia coming through to the last 250 metres. Yeah, see? And we have South Australia. They've just lifted the rate. I've just had a look up and they've lifted the rate. And they're coming through to that last 200 metres. The Victoria 4 has just come through that 250. They are having a cracker of a race. And South Australia just coming through the finish line. And we've got Victoria, last 150 metres, Victoria coming through to the finish line as well. They've had a great race, Victoria.
South Island rating 36, 37.
We have now, turning our attention to the 250 metre mark, we have South Island is sitting at, sorry, what was that, Max?
36.
36. South Island is sitting at rate 36. They've just come through that last 250 metre. I'm going to say they've just picked it up a little bit then.
New South Wales about 33 and a half.
Okay, and then we've got New South Wales who are sitting behind the South Island, sitting at 33 and a half, 34. And Queensland have caught up to them. I think that's going to be a great race between New South Wales and Queensland. But we've got the South Island here, just coming through the last 150 metres. Oh, it's wonderful to see. We've got the New Zealanders cheering down on the pontoon. Go New Zealand. Love the support, New Zealand. I love the flag. And on the course, we have Queensland have just increased the rate to 38. We've got New South Wales sitting in lane 1, 2, 3. Queensland are winding to the line. That is, wow. They are closing the gap. The one advantage, New South Wales can see them coming. But I'm going to say New South Wales will cross the line first. And we've got, we have overlap here. And New South Wales just crossed the line, followed by Queensland, but that would have been less than a boat length behind. Who have we got here? We have Western Australia. Sitting, according to Mangs, we're sitting at rate 38, stroked by William Main.
And then South Australia behind them, who've closed the gap. We're using that terminology here. They've the South Australian crew, I reckon they've made up time in their 32nd to the Western Australians. There's the South Australian number 1 crew.
And then also having a look at ACT. I feel
And South Australia number 1, I got a rating about 39. So they're certainly finishing off that number 1 crew from South Australia. High 30s there. And steering off course, just hit the buoys.
South Australia coming through. Hang on. South Australia finishing off strong. I think we're missing somebody now that I'm having a look. No, I'm going to say this is the North Island, New Zealand, stroked by Jack Henry. I think we do have a few withdrawals. But this is... Are we back? Yes. North Island is our final 4 of the men's 4 this morning. ACT. I think we may have had a withdrawal. But that is the conclusion of the men's coxless 4. And now we're moving on to the women's coxless 4. Starting off, we have Victoria 2, followed by the ACT, Queensland 1, Victoria 1, South Australia, Western Australia, and then Queensland 2, the final crew of the morning. But I'm just having a look up, and we have a start of the women's coxless 4. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 crews coming down. They've just come through the 1,000-metre mark. It'll be Victoria 2 was sent off first, stroked by Felicity Murray. And then behind them, we have the ACT, stroked by Sophia Smith. Apologies, everyone. Are we back, Manx? No? It almost does seem like the never-ending joke regarding microphones this morning. I feel sorry for the masses only hearing me speak. But I'm having a look out on the course. Hopefully we get this microphone working so Mangs can jump online. But we do have the women's coxless 4. I'm going to say we have Victoria 2 here in the dark blue sitting out in front. Mangs, can we jump on the stopwatch? How fast we reckon they're going? I'm going to have an educated guess. I'm going to say they're sitting around 34. 34. Absolutely nailed that. That was a bit of a guess. But we have Victoria 2, stroked by Felicity Murray, sitting at rate 34 as they come to the last 300 metres of the women's coxless 4. Behind them, we have the Australian Capital Territory, stroked by Sophia Smith. Then we have Queensland 1, followed by Victoria 1. But out in front, we have Victoria 2. I'm going to say they'll cross the finish line first, sitting at a nice 34, but they may increase that rate just a little bit towards the last 250 wind. ACT is sitting at rate 32, so just 2 strokes below Victoria. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we've got 7 crews here, and all are progressing through to the A final. But they are racing to see which lane they will be in. So, but we've got Victoria coming through now. The last 200 metres, rowing well, rowing long.
Queensland at 35.
And we have Queensland 1 sitting at rate 35 as they come through the last 250 metres. But we will have Victoria 2 crossing the line first, straight by Felicity Murray. And they're coming through the last 150 metres. And we have the ACT. I like that their outfits match their boat.
You could mention that we had trouble getting the names.
Yes, we do.
Most of the names.
We're not only having a little bit of technical difficulties here with our microphones, we're having a few technical difficulties as Mangs and I cannot work the iPad. And we can't find everyone's name. So we do apologise for that. But we do have ACT now coming through. I'm going to say 5 strokes to go before they finish off, followed by Queensland 1.
Queensland finishing at 37.
Queensland finishing at 37. So they have increased their rate. They are definitely winding to the line. And then looking back up, we have Victoria 1. Coming through that last 200 metres, sitting at rate 36. Queensland have just crossed the line. Then we have Victoria 1 sitting at rate 36 with their last 200 metres to go. Then having a look up, we have South Australia 1 sitting at rate 35. Then we have Western Australia and Queensland 2. So the final 4 crews of this morning's racing just coming on down now. And Victoria, we're talking 7 strokes to go, and then they are done for this morning. South Australia still sitting at rate 35. Stroked by Zara Hoadley. I don't actually think that is Zara Hoadley stroking that boat. I do know them. And I don't think that's her. I think that could be Daisy Holland. Western Australia. So just having a look up at the 250 metre mark, we have Western Australia sitting at rate 35. I'm going to say, may say they're having a few steering issues. And Queensland 2 are sitting at rate 34, and they are sitting in lane 1 right now. We have WA, West Australia going a little bit off course. They may have a few challenges. This is personally why I don't like coxless boats. It's one more thing I need to do when I was rowing back in the days. But we have the final 2 crews for this morning's racing of Western Australia sitting out. Queensland, they're sitting in lane 1 and their oars have come into the travel lane. Oh, no, they've corrected. But we have, looking over the course, WA just crossing the finish line now, I think in lane 9. So I'm going to say a few steering issues. And our final crew of the day, we have Queensland are crossing from lane 1, sitting at rate 34. Their final 10 strokes to go for this morning's racing.
So that concludes the time trialling and this morning's racing. There will be side-by-side traditional racing this afternoon for the finals of these events. The way I understand it, the reward for rowing the fastest time trial will be that they get the most favoured lane. At the moment, the way the wind is blowing, that would be lane 1. So the seeding would be lanes 1 across to 5, 6, 7, 8, however many starters we put in the final. The lane 1 would be the fastest qualifier, and in that order, lane 2, 3, 4, etc. So congratulations for the time trialists and what they've done in their, instead of racing heats this morning. We'll have traditional side-by-side racing in the buoyed lanes And I think what I've seen in both the men's and women's coxless fours, there could be some interesting steering happenings. Could be a fun regatta. The boat repair men will be rubbing their hands with glee. So it's Phil Mangelsdorf signing off, and thanks to Catherine McDougall for helping the commentary this morning. We can only apologise for the lack of communication. Our microphones were playing up, and we couldn't get our electronic media to read the names of all the crew, the names of the crews. We'll try and have that sorted by this afternoon. So we're signing off for the lunch break. Enjoy your lunch.